Evening all, just waiting for some people to join before I start. It's always the awkward part. Hello, I can see someone's joined, but I can't see who it is. This is always a bit awkward because it's waiting for people. Sharon Meredith Smith, hello. Good to see you, lady. Hiya, Carl. I've not seen you for a while, Sharon. How are you doing? Not seeing any of you writing either. Ali, hello, sweetheart. Oh, the Vocalpoint posse is in the house. So we've got 3 people now. So without further ado, really, how are you all? How's life treating you? It seems everybody's having a rough time of it you speak to at the moment. So let's hope 2022 is a lot better. So we've got 13 poems tonight. They say unlucky for some, but I don't know. I'm feeling quite confident. There's some really good reads, and we've got a good mix as well. We've got a few sad ones, hence no makeup, and just in case, tissue at the ready, because you know what I'm like. Oh, hi Jerry, how you doing, love? Hope the move's gone okay. We've missed you a lot. So all right, we may as well get started. There's 4, but usually it takes a little time for others to join. So we'll see how it goes. So real good mix tonight. We've got some real sad ones as well. But the first one I'm going to read is by Ron Conway. We all know Ron, of course. He's having a tough time at the moment, bless him. His wife has been diagnosed with cancer. So my thoughts, well, everybody's, I know I can speak on behalf of everyone in DPS. All the best, Ron. Gina Carrillo, hi, and thanks for joining. This lady is excellent at spoken, so I've got a lot to you know, to achieve. Lynn Beringer, Alaskan Vogue, hello. Good to see you, lady. We've missed you. So without further ado, Ron Conway, and it's called Poetic Justice. Half of us are less than average. That should give you pause. The ones selected in our image fabricate the laws. When judgment's meted on the curve, nobody is relieved. Redress is only seen as served by whom it is perceived. Quite short and sweet, really, that one. Ron's had 2 books out. I don't know if anybody's bought them. We've got Hidden Agenda, Slightly After Dark, which is really clever because at the beginning of each line of each poem, it reads as a quote, a famous quote at the end, and it's really, really good. He's also got, I think, a new chapbook that's been out recently called From the Real. So quite a few poets I'm reading tonight have brought books out recently or are bringing them out, and it's great to see. There's so much talent in Dark Poetry Society, it's untrue. Caroline, hey, how you doing, lady? I hope you're good. So that was Ron's. Now the next one, and I was hoping that the author of this poem would be here. Trigger warning, guys. It does have some language, but I think we all know the gist, really. You know, if there's language, it in most cases it's necessary. So this is quite a sad one. There's a couple of sad ones tonight. In memoriam of people, and this one is in memoriam of Teresa S. Blackwell, the 12th of the 12th, 1960 to the 18th of February 21. And it was by Anthony Ray Blackwell, of course, and it's in memoriam of his mum. And this is what he had to say about it, quote unquote. A birthday is coming up on the 12th of December. I've been struggling with that. Before I stopped drinking, every year for her birthday, we would drink iced coffee with whiskey. Last year, she stopped drinking on her birthday to honour my road to recovery. So she would have been a year sober. How sweet is that? And it's I'm going to read it as I see it. And you know me and emotion, if it comes, it comes. Trigger warning. Language. Fuck cancer. This time the loss is driving me crazy. Every night I search the bottom of these bottles for someone to save me. I would pray, but this has hit too hard. These tears have intensified and it's getting harder to dry these eyes. I might as well rinse my mind. Maybe then I can make it through the night. I was getting comfortable knowing it was just us against all odds, the whole world. Yes, with you, I couldn't have given a fuck. No, I wasn't giving up. Now these glasses keep on running dry. I think to myself, if only you could have been here to change my mind. Because now that you are gone, I am struggling to wake up and fight. I guess I thought you would have been here until the end of time, that you and I were inseparable, but now you've died. I keep searching the bottom of these bottles for something to save me. Every night, slamming these glasses down, deep inside I've been breaking. And the simple memories which showed you full of life keep driving me crazy. I keep screaming out to God every drink that when he took you away, you must have made a mistake, that it should have been me dying there in your place. And I know how damn selfish this may seem, but maybe, then you would have left this hell of a life cancer-free. Whoa. That was, just give me a sec. You know, I put all my emotions into these and, yeah. That was by Anthony Ray Blackwell, and I'm really sorry he's missed that. And that was for his mother who passed in February 2021. Anthony's done amazingly well on his road to recovery. Not, you know, not hitting the bottle. And he's even packed in his cigarettes. And what a great, great tribute to your mum. Absolutely amazing, Anthony. Amazing. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah, it is a very honest poem. A very honest poem. Jerry says powerful but sad. It is very sad. And I felt that there was a lot of emotion that needed to go in that. You know, this is Anthony and how he's feeling. You know, and what he's put down in writing there. Bear with me a sec, because I'm just going to get a better prop up for my pad. Oh my God, that's even worse. Oh well, we'll see how we do. So we've had Ron Conway and we've had Anthony Ray Blackwell. The next one, and I notice you're watching, Hi William, is by William H. Balzac. And it's very really interesting, right, actually. It's, excuse me, homage to Edgar Allan Poe. Jen, hey! Hiya, Matty. Hiya. You missed a couple, guys, but we've got plenty of others. All amazing. So, William H. Balzac has a book out, Poets of Book and Writing Nights. Amazon, I think. I think that's where most of you guys publish. And this is William's. It's called Raven. And it's homage to Edgar Allan Poe. Never to ignore the rapping, the ceaseless tapping at my door. And all the forgotten lore. But in my weary writing, I cast my clouded eyes, so frightening. My life, my love, Lenore. Short and sweet. Lovely little write that, William. Obviously his inspiration was Edgar Allan Poe. Big fan of Edgar Allan Poe. I've read a few of his, and they are really challenging to read, extremely challenging. But Amazing writer. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a bit more comfortable. I am sat in my bedroom as we speak. And I can't... that's it. Got it. Got it. So, yeah, it's a lovely little write, wasn't it? Great tribute poetry. Just a quick update, guys, because I don't think you're all aware of what's happened. It seems to have been weeks ago, months ago even, where we did the GoFundMe for Trisha McCourt, you know, to get her eyes. She was going blind. And quick update is that her site's amazing. She's writing, like, you know, wonderfully, like she always has. I believe that maybe she's got one more aftercare visit and may need some glasses, but her life's improved no end. So thank you so much, guys, for everything you did and for everybody that helped there. John, hello. Glad that you've joined us. Thank you, William. Yeah, the British accent does seem to be a bit of a hit with the American crew. Sorry, very dry mouth when you read. Okay, the next one is by a damn amazing, clever, eloquent, elegant poet with, as Carl said, an amazing turn of phrase. You all know her. Jen Banks. Jen has just brought a book out called To Bedlam and Back, and it's a chapbook in conjunction with Open Skies. I think it was edited and produced by Keith Sparks, lovely guy, and it's Jen's first publication, and I'm sure it will fly off the shelves. Not sure if this writes from there because I've not ordered my copy yet, waiting for payday on Friday. God, wish it'd hurry up. This one's called Mirror Images. Jen Banks. Knowing you is as though all the doors in all the hallways of the world were flying open in a sudden gust, and framed within each architrave stood naked the variegated incarnations of myself, unmasked. Every secret mystery, neurosis and flaw disrobed, both anima and animus called forth and exposed. Knowing you as intimately as I know my own soul, I understand these apparitions are but a bridge to divine, the spirit within, your image on one side and its mirror on mine, visible only to the eye that accepts and forgives. A cavernous chest, bleeding, raw, yet precious gems, a heart of crystal broke and mended time and again. The one worships in darkness what others dismiss or reject, knowing we exist in this dimension where I end and you begin. How beautiful is that? Mirror Images, Jen Banks. To Bedlam and Back, available on Amazon now. I think good price too, actually. Mine's in my basket ready. So check it out. Jen. Jen's like, lol. Do you not want me to plug you, Jen? You know, you guys, I'm a massive supporter of poetry, which is why we do this. I'll tell you a little bit more about what's happening in the year with Vocalpoint, and I'd like you all to be as much a part of it as potentially you can or want to be, and if you don't, then that's cool too. The next one it's a fabulous write, and you know, this guy's come such a long way. I've known him from a couple of years, and he's a very dear friend. He's had some really tough times, and he's turned it around. So it's called Photograph Upon the Shelf by Matty Blades, and it's a tribute to his sister who he lost some years ago, Miggy. So we have another tribute poem tonight, so in memoriam of Miggy. So many times I saw you last in a photograph on the shelf. The glass by the mirror is half empty. As I look in, I relive the past. The lines on my face each hold a memory. I see you there in my eyes. I can feel you trying to tell me all will be okay. Through all the tears I've cried. Well, you know, I'll see you again one day, and things will be different then. There'll be no sorrow, my soul enlightened, bereft of all the pain. A twinkle in your eye, that gentle smile, both signs of love. Kindest soul to me you've been, my angel sent from above. I see your light from behind the veil, with a dream of a warm embrace. My time will come some distant shore, finding my way to Elysium gates. I'll spend my time amongst the stars with all of those loved and lost, a fresh understanding of what has transpired and a hopeful chance to forgive. How lovely is that? And I've got a tear in my eye. And Matty, I've got to tell you, I'm so proud of him. I'm probably going to start striking in a minute. Matty's first draft of his book will be out, or I think he may have had his first draft, and it's called All of Me. His book will be out in 2022, and I think he's done so well. I mean, he's always been an amazing poet, but I've got to be honest, Matty, you've come on so many leaps and bounds that, you know, it's just amazing. Well done, you. Michael Delarkey, hello. Nice to see you. What, 12? That's good. Yeah, it is a lovely write, Caroline. It really is. It's an amazing write. Matty does. It can be extremely deep, Matty. Extremely deep. Anthony, you missed your write. Are you here? If I have time, I will do it at the end. I'll do it at the end. Lynn, if you're going to work shortly, I can. I'm not sure when yours is, actually. Let's have a look. Yours is 3 or 4 on, so I can do that now. Or you can always catch it up, because it bounces round group afterwards anyway, and it'll be on the YouTube channel. Please, please subscribe. Support me supporting you. That's what it is at the end of the day. Right. Don't know if you've noticed, we've got a poet that's probably been in group quite some time, and Gregg Walling, and he doesn't write. He's not a prolific poet as some are. Then there's nothing wrong with that. You know, some poets once, twice a week, other poets, you know, 2-3 times a day in group, as you've seen. And it's Gregg Walling, and it's called Do I Dare. Now, it was a bit difficult, because sometimes what I'll do is I'll read the poem and I'll try and connect with it. And what I mean by connect is, how should I read it? What's it about? And, you know, I'll hold my hands up. Sometimes I don't always know what they are about, or I need more inspiration. And I asked Gregg, and I said, can you tell me more about it? And he said, well, not really, no. I was like, what? He said, I just write what comes out. So you tell me what you think this is about, and we can have a bit of a debate afterwards. But it's a nice write. Do I Dare? Gregg Walling. Before the dark setting in, a tea leaf lost its reason for being. Inside and gone away, no glamour in what was pierced. In the echoes to think, secret and medieval visions. Serving what is in focus to find the face of nowhere? In knowing shame, do I dare to oppose nowhere? The sentence of being here, the promise to disappear and appear. To be calloused, overseeing myself between the parallels. What breaks and falls in shallow sight I find. Avoidance of what could not be rescinded. Earth's decor, the road I move upon. I'm certainly of well above average intelligence, but the only thing that Gregg said was, well, tea leaf future, and that was what he thought initially, and then the rest came from there. What does everybody think? yeah, it is an interesting write, Carl. But it's a shame he's not here to see it. And I love it if the poets can be here to listen to, you know, their rights that I'm reading for them. Yeah, John Herlihy, you've summed this up really well. The strength of the poem is its understatement. What is left unsaid, left up to the reader. Yeah, that's pretty much, I think, what Gregg said to me. Very interesting, right, though. And he's such a lovely man. He really is. I had a good chat with him in private messaging last week, and he's such a gentleman. Can I ask you all, for the new year, can you please send me your rights, vocalpointspoken@gmail.com, lowercase. Obviously, I get quite a few, so I can't read them all. We've got 13 tonight, which might take us to, I don't know, 7, 7:15. But please send your rights, and please also support the YouTube channel. It's been going 6 months now, and there's 97 subscribers. That's pretty poor. There's a lot of stuff on there. One I read for Lynn's on there. Matty, I know one of Matty's is on there. You know, there's a lot of different poets on there. And of course, the vocal points. So, go and have a look. So the next guy, you all know very, very well. And yes, he is prolific. The man is a machine. That's all I can say. Carl Butler, my best buddy in the whole world. And obviously a fellow group owner with myself and the amazing admin team that we've got. Carl, I don't know if you've watched it, I'm talking about seen it, has been writing his Sir Bumble series, and the Butter Bumbles. So far, I think he's done up to and including book 4, all waiting for me to edit them. Yeah, see in about 25 million years. But one of his books will be a chat book, which may be out next year. I think that's what the hope is. And it's a children's book on the adventures of Sir Bumble, which is amazing. He is well known for his book reviews as well. Might sound cheeky, but he can't buy books to review them for you. If you want an amazing book review done, which is then followed up and put on Amazon, then send him a book, PDF format, paper book preferred, and then he can give you a great review. If you want to check out the reviews, go to featured at the top of the group and scroll down, and you'll see the poetry reviews he's done, and they are informative, fun, and the critique is really good. So this one's called Pardon My French. Carl Butler. Would you wear velvet fetters, a long leash from the bed? Maybe read some French letters, they needed to be said. The lock in the keyhole, the bolt on the door, there is no escape, and yet you want more. Volunteering your servitude, these mental restraints that limit your aptitude, surely this grates. Where is the freedom to fly or to fall? You can only fly solo from under their thrall. Your heart may be empty, but overcast like lead. Shall I put on those handcuffs from the past life you led? Wanton with avarice, needy for wealth, now you have gravitas while sat on the shelf. Your wings need a dusting, your heart is spring clean. Polish off the rust from that well-oiled machine. Break free of those chains, don't let freedom float by. Let's slip those restraints, now you're ready to fly. Love it. First, I thought it was a really sexy one. You know, fetters, chains, etc. Maybe that's just me, my dirty mind. But I was talking to Carl about it tonight, and he asked me what I thought it was about. I was on the right track, but it's about a breakup, breaking free from, you know, somebody who's well, basically controlled you. And I think, you know, we have probably been in that position, one or some of us. So what's everybody thinking so far about, you know, the rights that we've got? I mean, we've had Ron Conway, Anthony Ray Blackwell, which if I have time and Anthony's here, I'll read at the end. We've had William Balzac, Jen Banks, Bedlam and back, Amazon. Matty Blades, bless him. All of Me, out in 2022, and that will definitely be a book worth buying. Gregg Walling, Do I Dare? And of course, Carl Butler, Father Nature of the group. So if you've not got Carl's book, My Black Swan Calling, 180 pages, and I think it's round about $8 or $9. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because I edited it. He is an amazing writer. Nature, dark, you name it, he can do it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, All of Me, John's saying, Matty's book. I think it's a great title. I won't say what it was, but he mentioned to me, I've known about this book for a little while. He said to me the other day, oh, I've been thinking of calling it this. No, you need to stick with All of Me. And he said, yeah, but it's not everything about me. I said, no, it doesn't have to be. Leave your readers guessing. Great name. Great name. Excuse me a second. Okay. So, okay. The next one. You may not have seen Liam around group. He's a fairly new member, Liam Kennedy. A very inspirational writer, more often than not full of hope. Liam has had a book out some time ago called Tears to Glory, again on Amazon. And he's our Poet of the Week this Friday. I think it's well deserved. Been chatting with him recently, and he's a stage 3 cancer survivor. He's just got through it. Still a way to go. But I think this is probably one of his most inspirational pieces that I've read. Better Days Are Coming, Liam Kennedy. Better days are coming. You will not be left behind. Just because you're suffering does not mean you'll be defined. I want you to know that I am fighting by your side. It's now time to be courageous, my friend. You do not need to hide. This mental battlefield is where we found ourselves before. When things get tough, this does not mean we must fall to the floor. Your illness will give you all it's got. It will beat you to your knees. Don't become discouraged, because we must learn to appease. Better days are coming is what you must tell yourself. Creating a positive mindset will improve your mental health. It's easy to just give up. It takes no strength to quit. By carrying on, you prove to yourself that indeed you're mentally fit. Depression will get stronger if fed with negative thoughts. It's an easy mistake to make if you're feeling out of sorts. Thinking positively can help turn your mind around. Pure strength and fight are two main things that eventually will be found. You will notice life gets easier when thinking in this way. Hard work and an insatiable desire to live will then come into play. This brand new way of thinking is a much welcome gift. You will notice that these positive thoughts have now begun to shift. Better days are coming. This must be believed. Your mind, your thoughts, your fighting spirit has finally been retrieved. Oh, how lovely is that? And apologies for the mistake. Well, I said I wouldn't apologise. You know, it's live. It's going to happen. I'm not a professional. So, yeah, how lovely, isn't it? Yeah, better days are coming. And I didn't discuss that right with him, but I guess it's been spurred on by what, you know, what he's been going through, which, you know, must be really tough, really tough. Okay, I'm just checking out who we've got next. Yeah, okay. Right, we've got Gavin Prinsloo next. Again, oh, I'm so proud. All these wonderful poets in Dark Poetry Society that have got books out or books coming out. It's just amazing. The talent in there is second to none. Very, very humbled that they choose to, you know, put the work in our group. So let's read Gavin Prinsloo. Pieces of My Mind is his book, again available on Amazon, and this one's called Simplicity and Love. I've got to be honest, when I read this today a couple of times, I was getting a bit tongue-tied with the oldie English, so I hope that I managed to read it well. Simplicity and Love. Succour mine gaze with lowered eyes, let thy demeanour speak with lowered lash. Rekindle the fire of passion from this cold, dead and loveless ash. Slide thy fingers into a lover's clasp. Let thy pulse enamour my blood. Let thy touch render me senseless, lest mine eyes open to a salted flood. Whisper thy words of power as bodice slides off lace. Raise thy lips to sanction love as I gaze upon thy face. Let perdition not hinder a gentle night, that I may pluck on Cupid's bow. Lay me down on silken sheet, so that in heaven I may know. Oh, gorgeous. And yes, I did. I messed up again. Apologies. That's just lovely. Very, very eloquent. Very, very lovely write. I do love Gavin's writes. They can be extremely deep. Extremely deep. And I don't actually remember seeing this one in group, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I've got Lynn Barringer next. But just before that, have you all submitted your rights, please, to Festive Spirits, which is our monthly e-zine optional theme. Festive Spirit, and the S is in brackets. So it can be about drink, it can be about spirit, it can be dark, it can be, you know, however you want it. If you haven't, why haven't you? Do you not want to see yourself in print? Huh? No? And just to remind you, the back issues 1 to 9, I can't believe we've had 9 editions, are at the top of the group under files and available to download in PDF format. If you prefer the link, drop me a message, Jerry or Carl, and we can send you the actual link. So yeah, number 10, rights need to be in by the 26th of December, earlier if possible. And we do realise that it's a bit of an odd time because the group tends to be very, very quiet sort of over Christmas, which, to be honest, would be good if Carl and I could get some time off, and the team as well. But Festive Spirits, if you've not sent a writing, please do. Yes, Carol Ann's saying Gavin's right, splendid, elegant poem. John, old school poetry, so well done. Yeah. And Matty, a favourite of mine. Love this, Gavin. And William, Gavin Prinsloo, always pointed and true pieces, yeah. Everything that you said there, guys, I agree with. It's a great write. So, the lady that I'm going to read next, I've known probably as a Facebook friend for, what would you say, Lynn, a year? 18 months? And Lynn, again, she's not a prolific writer. You'll see a write every couple of months or so, but I know that she's been extremely busy. And the write that she sent to me, I absolutely love her writing. I've read for her before. Lynn also has a book, Alaskan Vogue is her pen name, Poetry from the Land of Ice and Shadows. And I think that would be well worth a look at, and it's on my list. along with about 1,000 others. Blimey. Stuck for choice, running a group. You really are. Lynn Beringer, the Arctic Queen. And this is what she had to say about it, quote unquote. The Arctic Queen is my alter ego and about life lived in the coldest place. Winter almost always is when I am connected to parts of me I keep hidden during the summer days, when light never stops streaming. Right now it's noon and there will be darkness in a couple of hours. I tell you, Northern Alaska is a unique place to live. And I actually, Lynn, -35, wow. Carl and I mean, Heidi Peterson, she's also lived in Alaska, but I think she's south. But Carl and I, oh God, we would, you know, it's the sort of place that we would most definitely love to visit. But yeah, I bet you it's a tough place to live. Okay, Lynn Beringer, the Arctic Queen, the original Arctic Queen. You ask, who am I? So I promise to try and help you to understand. Come here, sit by me, boy. I'm going to make you my toy. I am the ruler of all this land. A heart forged out of ice, never one to play nice. I must have total control. I'll help you believe what your eyes really see when I dismantle a couple of souls. I can cool the winds, coax out all of your sins, bring your mind right up to the edge. The end of your life brought forth by a knife, unless obedience you honestly pledge. The sun is fading away. You must beg me to stay. Free will is now way out of sight. It is bitterly cold. Watch the magic unfold as darkness replaces the light. Bought and then sold for the price of some gold. Quite cheap and rather obscene. By now you should know I command ice and snow. I am the original Arctic Queen. Huh. I wasn't sure, Lynn. I hope to God you like that. I wanted her to be quite menacing, but not too menacing. That's how, there was two ways I could have read it, and that's the way that I saw it to be read. Sort of a bit like, you know, Snow White, the wicked stepmother type thing. But I hope you liked it, and it's what a cracking write. Brilliant write. I love your stuff, Lynn. We need to see more of it. We need to see more of it. Do you remember that, was it Battles of Men I read for you? Oh my God. It took me about 6 or 7 takes because I was crying my heart out. Absolutely crying my heart out. So, thank you, John. John says, well written and well read. Thank you. Thanks. Oh yeah, and Ali says, fantastic, dark, sensual and clever. It is. Oh, I'm glad you loved it, Lynn. I am open to critique, you know, you guys, you need to remember I do this purely for the love of poetry. Hoping to become professional one day, but a hell of a lot to learn yet. A hell of a lot. I am not a spoken word artist. I hope that I am a narrator. However, let's see. Yeah, do more, Lynn, do more. Because I do connect with your rights first time. Is Anthony with us? I was really hoping he'd be with us, because I wanted to read his poem for his mum again for him, because it was an important one for him now. But I do know that he had a couple of important calls to make. And time zones. Excuse me a second, very dry throat. Right, okay. Stephen North is next. Stephen A. North. Again, you know, you will see him in group. Been with us for a long time. He's been with us as long as I can remember. And I've run DPS for 5-6 years. This one's called Temporal Discourse. Oh, Stephen, I was just about to read this. And he's just put, you were just waiting to be discovered. And it doesn't matter that you're late, Stephen. It's not, you know, if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you can always catch it around group. There's never any pressure. In fact, most of the comments come after, which is great to see. And of course, it goes straight on YouTube. Check it out, YouTube Vocalpoint. Please support me, supporting you. That's the strapline. Stephen, hope you're well. I hope, you know, it's always difficult with what to say to people. Stephen lost his mum recently, and I hope you're all right, sweetheart, or as well as can be. Huge sympathies from all the team at DPS. Temporal discourse, Stephen A. North. Tomorrow is an unopened bottle, an unread book, and a promise made to no one. Today is a moment by moment journey forward, a steadily ticking clock, and a possibility for change. Yesterday is all that lies behind, a remembrance of what was, a reminder of what could have been, a reminiscence of what is lost and what we have to live with. And then there's a heart that rules over all three, keeping time with yesterday, today and tomorrow, the measure of life and all that keeps me here now. I thought that was a very simple rite, but it says such a lot. Carl's like my guinea pig, you know. Handwrite, just so you know, every single rite I get a handwrite out. That's when my connection starts, because I have my own language. If I have arrows up for inflection, arrows down for down inflection, and there's only me would understand it. It's like a different language. So I handwrite it out because it helps me connect with it and understand it more. And the punctuation on it, you think, what the hell, does this woman know English? But that again helps me understand the best way I feel to read it. So I was talking to Carl about it before, and he thinks it's the three fates, something to do with the three fates. Stephen, maybe you can throw some light on it, because Stephen's in the room. Are you there, Stephen? Oh, sweetie Lynn. Makes me think of my mum. I miss her so much. I know. There just doesn't seem to be very much good news at the moment. At all. Whoever you speak to, there's somebody been lost, or, you know, this bloody COVID is just spoiling everything. Let's hope 2022 is a better year for everybody. Yeah, it is. Beautiful, short and sweet, Caroline. Maybe Stephen will come back with his thoughts in a moment, and we can come back to that. Okay, the next one is by a lady I've known quite some time. She is very dramatic's probably not the right word, because it can sound quite uncomplimentary. Very upfront, very full on with her rights. You know, she's right there. She's telling you exactly what she thinks. She does quite a bit of spoken. She also paints. There are all sorts of different strings to her bow. This one is in memory of her brother, and this is what she said. In memoriam of James Driver Fisher, died in the early hours of the 31st of October 2021. He was crossing the road and got hit and run over by two separate cars. That's bloody awful. Not one car, two. So it's an emotional read. There's a lot of different feelings and emotions that need to come out in this, and I'm going to try and portray from Hannah's words as to, you know, how she feels. Trigger warning, there are profanities. So if you don't like to hear language, then please, you know, tune out for a few minutes. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're all writers. I'm sure you've all used profanities here or there, because it's needed for the context of the write that you're doing. You know, we're all creative people, so here we go. Let me just get in mode. Fuck that you're gone. I'm pretending you stayed, living in the past. Memories play. On and on like a cinematic nightmare. Screen time with you is all that I care about. Pull out my hair and shout, petulant child, I pout. Lip quivers and trembles as silent tears fall. Alone on this floor, cold in this hall, hug my knees and withdraw from anyone, anything. That means I have to begin to acknowledge you are not here. Face up to my worst fear, choke on each tear. Years and years of memories play on and on, flooding my mind each day. Times when we would laugh till we cried. Flashback to the day that you didn't survive. Saying goodbye through swollen eyes. I won't accept that you're gone from this life. The world keeps on turning, and so does this knife. Twists and turns, pulls at my insides, but I'll try, with you as my guide. I'll try not to hide, away from the reality, away from this pain, away from the thought of never seeing you again. Look to the rainbow and smile, knowing you were with me for a while. That moment of clarity, eternal misery, empty, hollow, yet brimming with pride. What a life, what a legacy, that will always be part of me. Whoa. How sad. How sad is this life, huh? Sorry, you all know by now, the regulars, that, you know, I put all my emotion into it and I try and feel how that person's feeling. I'm not saying that I try to be them, just, you know, it's your word art. So, well done, Hannah. God, seems that everybody's losing people at the moment. I do hope that you all have much, much better years next year. I really do. I really do. So, I don't know what else there is to say about that. We've had Anthony. We've had Hannah. But I think it's important that, you know, all types of different rights are read. All types of different rights. We need to get the expression out. There's very little that I won't read. Very little. And of course that goes without saying. What I won't read. Anything to do with hurting animals, children, that type thing. That's an instant ban from the group. Instant ban. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing next year in DPS. We like to think that we are ahead of the game, ahead of a lot of other groups, because one, we care, two, we love poetry. It's run by an amazing poet, Carl. I'm probably the ideas person. I'm the one saying, oh, let's try this, let's try that. I drive everybody crazy. But I think to evolve, to improve or to be better, you have to evolve. So at the moment, we've got the regular features going on, which is, you know, the Poet of the Week, Spoken Spotlight, Vocal Point, which is once a month at the moment because I'm working full time. I'm studying mental health now as well. I've just started studying mental health. Long story. Hopefully for a career direction change. And, you know, we do as much as we can. We're looking for an interactive group. And I'm pleased to say that I think most people that are here today do interact. And that's what we're looking for. We want you to come in and go, that was a great write. You know, you know, a few words, they help. Next year, Vocalpoint, I am hoping, will come from Zoom, which is the way forward now. It's, you know, all internet based in the COVID times. So Zoom, so it's going to be a lot bigger screen. Vocalpoint, so I'll be reading poetry. We'll have guest poets on reading poetry. We're going to have poet interviews. We will have hot topics, excuse me, theme days, all that type thing. So I'm really hoping that that takes off, and that will be coming very soon. I just need to find the time to figure it out. And then I'm hoping that we can get some of you guys on, having a chat and really promoting poetry and what it's about. It's not promoted enough. It's not given enough respect, you know. You guys, well, bleed from your pens, don't you? Okay. So we have John Herlihy is our final read. Now, there are numerous poets in the group that I absolutely love. Absolutely love. And one of them is John Herlihy. He writes with rhythm, that it flows. And this one is no different. Now, I wasn't quite sure how to read this, so I hope I do it justice. I hope I do it justice. And I just have to say sorry. Thank you, Lynn. I just have to tell you all how honoured I am to be part of DPSR. Bless you. So, just keep commenting. You know, join the prompts. You know, anything at all. We want a community, not just a drop you right and run. You know, the group is... I've cut the group back. Yes, me. I cut the group back from 4,200 to 1,000. Because there were around about 3,000... There's about 2,500 accounts, which were just done for, you know, they weren't poets or they weren't communicating. And then there were poets that weren't doing anything. There's no point in being in DPS if you're not going to do anything. There really isn't. And I mean that with the greatest of respect, because we love you all. We just want you to, you know, make it your community. Right. The amazing John Herlihy. Please do check out his writes in group. Amazing. Very versatile writer. And this one is called The Muse Arrives. My lantern dimmed. In the silence my mind awakens. No scratch yet on paper of thought. My mind hastens. I do wait patiently, my imagination attuned to hope. I cling to my source of inspiration as to the divine rope. I can but wait for the moment when my muse arrives, to lift a veil on secrets of the world and make me wise. When the muse finally does arrive, I listen and I hear. Then I may not understand her, because my soul fear. Like a misty rain, she descends quietly into my orb. I'm going to start this again. I am so sorry. My cat has just come in the room and he's meowing his head off and he's putting me off. I apologise. God, this is so professional. Come on. Out. Out. Oh, God. Go on, you can all have a laugh. Here's your treats. And then get lost. Mummy's working. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Right, we'll start again. I apologise, John. My cat was meowing his head off and probably will do. Not much I can do about it. My lantern dimmed. In the silence my mind awakens. No scratch yet on paper of thought. My mind hastens. I do wait patiently, my imagination attuned to hope. I cling to my source of inspiration as to the divine rope. I can but wait for the moment when my muse arrives, to lift a veil on secrets of the world and make me wise. When the muse finally does arrive, I listen and I hear. That I may not understand her becomes my sole fear. Like a misty rain, she descends quietly into my orb. Echoes of her words into my mind I do fully absorb. From wherever she comes, I know not how and why. The silence of the night is finally broken by her sigh. I rush to take in hand my fountain pen and ink, lift the flaps of my ears with a nod and a wink. I make a mental note to write all that she intones. What would I write alone but moans and groans? Often my lone scribblings make very little sense, their value hardly worth more than sixpence. The muse looked on me with benevolent grace. Huge dark eyes gaze beyond her ageless face. Excuse me. As thoughts of potatoes and pasta readily fled, left behind an empty sheet of paper instead. There are those of us who listen, who never hear. A thought of this happening to me brings a tear. In sonorous rhythm, her voice adopts a grand tone, to flow on with the ease of a crystal clear river alone. Draft for me a poem, she exhorts, her voice sublime. Your sacred highness I utter, in a voice meekly mine. Thinking to myself, I have no words to say, only babble. I am accustomed merely to address masses of rabble. When I gaze into her eyes, her voice invades my heart, like a mad, conquering warrior, ready to pull me apart. An empty vessel lost for words, I am now filled with the imagery and symbols I could never have willed. The inspired words flowed like honey from her sweet lips. I drank the soul of this dream weaver with tender sips. Was she a witch, haunted ghost, spellbinder of the mind? Or mystic enchantress weaving mystery of another kind? She knows of her power, at the mercy of her every whim. I could only keep silent, with a face determined and grim. With outpourings of emotive insight, she began to speak. My heart pounded, hand quivered, my pen began to weep. Fabulous. It is, this is what I mean. I sincerely apologise to you all in respect of my cat. That's why I started it again. He was putting me off, and I owe it to give you, the best of what I can. So apologies for King Kato, he gets called, because he's he's very cute, but he's a pain in the proverbial, the arse. So, what did everybody think of John's write? I think you should publish a book, John. You definitely should. Well, here's a little inside info. It's yet to be decided what the subject matter will be, but Dark Poetry Society will be doing an anthology like no other. We want it to stand out from the crowd. Absolutely stand out from the crowd. And of course, as we know, we will let you know. So watch out for the DPS anthology. That's coming at some point next year. Hopefully Vocalpoint via Zoom, but with lots more, lots more interaction, not just me reading at you, basically, from a mobile phone. So we will see. John, I apologise. I don't know why I said you should publish that, because I know you've had books out. I'm not doing very well tonight, am I? Anyway, with thanks to tonight's featured poet. Says Anthony left the room. I was going to read his for him, but he can catch it up on the video that will be jumping around group for a few days. And Lynn, I hope you have a good day at work, and thanks for tuning in. That meant a lot. I know the time zone, I think you're 9 hours behind. So thank you to Ron Conway, Gavin Prinsloo, John Herlihy, William H. Balzac, Stephen North, Liam Kennedy, Gregg Worley, Hannah Fisher, Lynn Beringer, Matty Blades, Carl Butler, Anthony Ray Blackwell and Jen Banks. Thank you so, so much. Again, apologies for the mishaps going through, but don't forget, vocalpointspoken@gmail.com. And please, if you haven't, support me supporting you. YouTube, the link will be in shortly with the video. Have a brilliant Christmas, all of you. And I truly, truly hope that you all have amazing New Year's and lots of health, wealth and happiness. Not like this year, please. Thank you and good night.